Welcome back. Let's go over to agriculture, where the continuous development of farming is a priority for the Kano state government, as it remains the biggest occupation of many rural communities. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje's government is employing manual irrigation technology to empower small-scale farmers towards increased productivity. The state's deputy governor, Nasir Gawuna, is optimistic that the manual water pumps provide better opportunities for rural farmers throughout the year.
Small-scale farming is a major occupation of communities in Kano State who still ply their trade through rigorous, time-consuming methods. The Kano State government hopes to make life easier for the farmers through private sector partnership to provide easy-to-use manual water pumps for year-round irrigation. Kano State has vast unused farmlands, and the state believes the new technology will help small-scale farmers improve the opportunities for better harvest.
With the current climate change and unpredictable weather conditions, there is an urgent need for Kano State to harness its water resources endowments into tangible wealth in a sustainable manner. The choice of Kano to launch this program is therefore necessary, considering its position in the era of irrigated agriculture.
The cost-effective and sustainable manual water pumps are expected to encourage more people to embrace farming.
In terms of employment, what we've discovered, and we've sold 325,000 of these pumps across Africa already. 325,000. What we've shown very, very clearly is that over 1.2 million people are literally climbed out of poverty. They can now afford to send their kids to school. They can afford to build a new house. They can afford other investments. They buy a cow. They buy poultry. And so literally here in Nigeria, we want to do the same thing.
A farmer, Mohammed Ali, speaks on the new technology and its benefits.
When you are using two machines, it's not be using to fuel. So this one is more easier to be an achieve to your farmers.
The Kano State government has remained resolute in ensuring that its farmers are supported and empowered to cater to their daily needs.
Quality education for all by the year 2030 is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4. Union Bank is demonstrating its commitment to the goal by hosting the maiden edition of Pt.3 in Lagos. It's a social impact program in education which the bank promised to invest in when it clocked a century last year.
The Pt.3 fair is attended by members of Union Bank, representatives of the federal and state governments, participants in the fair, investors, teachers and students. The CEO of Union Bank speaks to the theme, Investing in the Future.
And preparing our children, preparing the youth for what it's not what will be, but what already is a digital age.
The main speaker talks about education and its link to national development. She chooses to use the health sector as her case study.
Nigerians spend $1.3 billion in medical tourism alone in 2014. Education and training. There is a sense in which the country does not do enough for its medical and its healthcare professionals to build their capacity.
According to the organizers, Pt.3 is set up to address these challenges of financing and capacity building.
We discuss, we understand your financing needs. We actually go through how much you need, what you need it for, and ensure that we provide the right solutions to meet your needs.
There are expressions of support and engagement from the federal and state governments. Then the ribbon to signify the commencement of the fair is cut. A tour of the stalls follows.
Give them the resources, give them the ability, right? Then they in turn become more economically active, economically productive members of society.
It's a great initiative by Union Bank. Even for the vocational education, they'll be able to succeed.
This two-day event is designed to include discussions covering investment, school choice and financing options for parents, among other topics. It is also expected to be a yearly engagement.
In Borno State, the government has concluded plans to run a free kidney center in Maiduguri, the state capital. This is according to Governor Kashim following the expansion of the Maiduguri Specialist Hospital. The facility, which has been overstretched due to the insurgency problem the state is faced with, has also gained the attention of philanthropists from other parts of the country.
The Kidney Center is a donation of Abdul Kabir Aliyu Foundation, a Lagos-based philanthropic organization in response to the health needs of troubled Borno State. The center consists of 10 dialysis machines and other equipment which will shed the inflow of patients from the University Teaching Hospital.
Kidney disease is one of the leading problems in this our environment. Most of our patients will have to refer them to teaching hospital for this service. But now at least we have all the machine, the personnel, at least any physician, in addition to consultant nephrologists, can be able to render this. It will add more color and our patient will get a service that they want.
The Borno State government is happy about the donation, which they believe has the prospect of opening up the state as a referral center for the zone.
Look at all the kidney dialysis machines, 10 of them, digital, state-of-the-art equipment. I believe that the people of Borno will reap more bountiful harvest in the years to come. And people from the northeast, our hotels will become very busy. And the kidney center will be run for free. The people will not be charged a dime to have access to the facilities at the kidney center because we are facing a lot of kidney ailments.
According to the medical director of the Maiduguri Special Hospital, many cases of kidney disease have been reported in Borno State in recent times. The establishment of the kidney center at the specialist hospital will go a long way in bridging access gaps for patients.
There are 10 dialysis machines, and it also has a water reverse osmosis center. And then there is also laboratory, there is also medical records and consulting, 2 consulting doctors consulting room, and enough space for nurses station and technicians as well.
The state government says it has invested 3 billion naira in the expansion project of the state specialist hospital through direct labor.
Nigerians must hold on to the values that form the basis for national unity and shun everything that causes divisiveness. This is the message of the Governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, as the state hosts the 31st edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFest. The event, which is holding in the state for the 3rd time, brings together contingents from the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory.
Our diversity is what defines and binds us as a nation under the glorious sun. Although our tribes and tongues may differ, we're a nation bound by a common destiny and firmly glued together by the spirit of brotherhood, cultural harmony, and inter-ethnic solidarity instead of discord, tribalism, nepotism, and sectionalism. What is imperative, therefore, is for us to take full advantage of the innate strength in our diversity, together with our incredible human and natural resource endowments, to build a just, united, and prosperous country for the present and future generations. This, I believe, is a critical part of the basic objectives and aspirations of the NAFest.
And for more about the part funding of the 2018 budget, here's Ann Wilder with the rest of the business stories.
You First. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Millicent, and welcome to Business News. The House of Representatives has approved the issuance of $2.78 billion from the International Capital Market as approved in the 2018 Appropriation Act. Considering the report of its Committee on Aid, Loans and Debt Management on the matter, The House also approved the issuance of $82.54 million to help refinance the balance of $500 million matured Eurobond in the international capital market. The lawmakers have asked the federal government to reduce or limit its request for more external borrowing and source for other means of generating revenue internally. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udo Udoma, says that Nigeria will soon begin the local refining of gold in efforts to strengthen the country's economy. And this is coming as the federal government announced that it has issued the first gold refining license to a firm known as Kian Smith Limited. At the ongoing 24th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja, the minister says the federal government will also begin the purchase of gold from local refiners. The Economic Recovery and Growth Plan Focus Labs has enabled the government assist Bratz Fertilizer and Petrochemical Development Company in obtaining quicker issuance of various approvals required by its financiers from multiple government agencies. Leading private sector institutions and corporate organizations in Africa have established a Pan-African Private Sector Trade and Investment Committee known as Pt.3. A statement issued at the end of a meeting co-hosted by the African Export-Import Bank and the African Union Commission in Addis Ababa explains that Pt.3 will improve the integration of Africa into the global economy and also contribute to the transformation of economies on the continent in line with the African Union's Agenda 2063 themed The Africa We Want. The committee will also serve as an advocacy platform to support the actualization of the African Continental Free Trade Area and enhance private sector participation in trade negotiations and investment policy formulation. The committee has elected Professor Patrick Utomi, founder of the Center for Value for Leadership, Nigeria, as the first chairperson of Pt.3 for a 2-year term. Let's talk about earnings from Tier 1 lender Access Bank. It has reported a mixed group performance in its 9-month financial results for the period ended September the 30th, 2018. According to that latest earnings report, the bank's group gross revenue rose by nearly 3% to 375.2 billion naira in the first 9 months of this year, and that's up from 365.1, which was recorded in the same period last year. But on the other hand, the group's pre-tax profit fell by 3.62% to 70.26 billion naira. The net profit rose by 11.55% to 62.91 billion naira, while the earnings per share increased by 10.66% to 218 kobo. Now let's find out how the Nigerian Stock Exchange fared, driven by interest in large cap stocks at the local market. The second consecutive session with the all-share index reaching its highest level since September the 11th at over 33,000 points. Teniola Shibawali has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Investor sentiment sustained positive momentum for a second day as the all-share index crossed into the 33,000 level, up 0.69% at the close of Tuesday's trading session. The market's improved performance comes on the back of reactions to a fresh string of earning results released today, which drove the components of the industrial goods, consumer goods and the oil and gas sector higher. The share price of Transcorp recorded the highest gain among 14 gainers after the conglomerate posted a 40.7% rise in its third quarter revenue, while First Aluminium is the worst price performer among 18 losers. Meanwhile, volume of shares sold for the day lowered by nearly 73 million units to 185.19 million in 3,180, largely driven by the shares of FCMB, Transcorp and GT Bank. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shobowale.
Thank you, Teniola. European equities closed sharply lower today. That's after China's stocks sold off, sparking losses across the global markets. Let's take a look at the figures for today. With those numbers, we end business news for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Millicent.
You first. First Bank.
Thank you, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, Rivers Angels edge Ibom Angels 1-0 to win the Nigeria Federation Cup for a record 8th time. That's in sports news. Please stay with us.